Hi, my name's Alex and I'm from Sony Ericsson. In this clip I'm going to show you how to set up and use the Spotify application, which is exclusive to 3 on the Sony Ericsson Vivaz. Before we get started, I'll introduce the 5-panel home screen on the Sony Ericsson Vivaz. Starting from the left, we have favourite contacts, Twitter, the main home screen, photographs and videos, and then finally your favourite programmes. If we swipe across to favourite programmes, you'll see that you have the common favourites from 3, which are email on 3, Facebook, MSN Messenger and Skype, but the programme we're interested in for this clip is Spotify. The very first page you're taken to is the connection mode. Online mode lets you jump online and stream music live through the handset. Offline mode is available for when you have playlists that are already pre-downloaded. I'll go into that in more detail later on. To get started, click on Online and then select the 3 network. In this situation, it will warn you that this program does use a lot of data, so please make sure you have Internet Max set up on your 3 account. Select OK. From here you need to enter in your username and password. This is information you would have retrieved when you downloaded the application straight onto your PC. Then select Login, and it'll ask you to accept the terms and conditions. The first panel is your playlist panel. On here, the first time you start the application, there'll be no playlist created, but I've already created one called My Favourites. The next panel is your search bar. This is where you can search for any tracks, albums or artists. The next one is any track that's been playing or the last track played. In this situation, no track's been played at all. After that, you then have the home page. On here, it will be where it offers you any tracks and gives you recommendations based on what you've previously downloaded or listened to using the Spotify application. And then finally, we have the More option. This is where it will give you breakdowns and what type of connection mode you have available, and options on how you sync the handset, and then any more information like clearing data, minimising the application, or in fact logging out or exiting the application completely. If we go back to playlists, as you can see, I've already set one up. To play a track, simply press on the track. Now that I've shown you the 5 panels across the bottom of the Spotify application, I'm now going to go back to playlists to show you how to set one up, play tracks and delete them. For this, I'm going to bring in a Sony Ericsson MBS 200. Now to get started, normally on this screen, you'll have nothing there. You first go to search, and then type in an artist that you're interested in listening to. This will then bring up a list of tracks of the artist that you've searched for. You can then press and hold on any of these tracks. This will then give the option to add to a playlist, get more from the album that track is from, or get more from the artist that you've selected. For this, I'm going to add to a playlist, create a new playlist, and that'll be added. I'll add a couple more. And that's 3 tracks in this playlist now. If we then go back to the playlists, on here you'll see the one that I've just created. If we then click on that, and then we click on a track, it'll start to play. While it's playing, you have the volume control on the side to adjust. And then when you're finished listening to it, you simply press pause. From here, you press the down arrow, and it takes you back to the playlist. From here, you can press and hold to either get more from the album or artist or remove it from the playlist completely. It'll then ask you for a confirmation. You press yes and it'll take it out of the playlist option. To make your playlists available offline so that you can listen to the tracks without being connected to the network, simply click on Offline Playlists, and from here you'll see which playlists are actually offline and which ones aren't. To make it available, select the playlist and you'll see it'll download the tracks direct to the handset. It does this automatically via Wi-Fi, but you do have the option to download via 3G, and to do this you go through the More tab, which we'll go into in more detail later on. When finished, select Done, and the playlists are then available offline. Now that I've shown you how to make a playlist available offline, I'll take you to the Home tab. This is where Spotify truly comes to life, and it starts to recommend tracks based on the music you've already been listening to. So the more you listen to music, the more Spotify understands your tastes and recommends tracks. To listen, simply click on the album that Spotify has picked out. You'll then see a list of tracks. From here, you can simply press once to listen to the track, or press and hold to add to a playlist. I'm now going to take you to the More tab. On here you can see you have a few options, the very first one being your connection mode. When you start the application, it's automatically set in online mode to Wi-Fi or 3G. To make the handset instantly available offline, simply click Force Offline. The next options you have are synchronization over Wi-Fi or 3G. The handset is automatically set to synchronize your playlists over Wi-Fi. To make it additionally available over 3G, simply click this button here. I would recommend before doing that you check your tariff and make sure that you have Internet Max set up on the account. Next you have tips and tricks. On here it will take you directly to spotify.com for any hints on how to use the application. The next option is cleared saved data. This is where it will delete all information of online or offline playlists. And then the last three options are minimize, log out and exit. Exit will turn off the application without logging you out. Log out will completely close the application and log you out. The next option you have is minimize. This is where if we go into a track and then select play, you can then minimize the application and continue using the handset in the way you normally would. This way you can message, take photographs and use the handset completely without any application running in the background other than Spotify. To get back to the application, go to your favourites and then click on Spotify, and it takes you straight back to where you were. Now that I've shown you the 5 panels on the Spotify application and also showed you playlists and how to set them up, edit and delete tracks, I've also showed you the Home panel where Spotify will actually pick out tracks and recommend them based on your taste in music. I'll now show you where Spotify is integrated into the Vivaz menu system. If we exit out the app, you'll find, as mentioned before, it's on the Favourite Shortcuts panel. It's also available if you go into the main menu and then select Apps. You'll see Spotify in the bottom right hand corner. And finally, it's also available if you go into your Media section. In here, under Music, you'll once again find the Spotify application. Thanks very much for watching this clip on how to set up and use the Spotify application exclusive to 3 on the Sony Ericsson Vivaz.